Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, of course, the sports lovers. And in today's video, we are going to talk a little New Orleans Pelicans basketball today. It's been a while since we have talked about the Pelicans as we are on the road to college football season. Hopefully this video will kind of get us through the day and get us through the week as well, as it is game day for the Atlanta Hawks basketball squad. I know it's kind of fitting that I'm talking about the Hawks in the playoffs while also talking about the Pelicans, but those are my two teams in the NBA, and if they ever went face-to-face in the NBA Finals, well, I'd probably go with the New Orleans Pelicans in that one. However, with that being said, what is going on? Welcome back to the sports lovers. Yesterday, of course, it was announced that A.J. Brown is, of course, being traded to the Patriots post June 1st. So expect that trade to go through then. Also, big time news in the NFL out of this weekend is Dexter Lawrence is now a Cincinnati Bengal, and the Giants get the fifth overall pick and the 10th overall pick. So lots of stuff going on in the world of sports. It is draft week on Monday. We will have our final NFL mock draft tomorrow. We'll talk a little Auburn spring football, kind of get us ready for college football season and fall camp as well. So, if you are new to the channel, hit that sub button, leave a comment down below, as that is the #1 way you can support us here at the channel. And without further ado, let us go ahead and hop into this New Orleans Pelicans roster outlook. Alright, so I do want to start off this video by saying, if you guys see the poster in the background, it is new. Auburn poster hanging up there, kind of changed the theme, I guess, a little bit. Put the Star Wars one behind y'all for the Comic Book Nerd live streams, which we have talked about a little bit over there. If you are interested, go follow that channel, The Comic Book Nerd. TCBN 1517 is the handle. With that being said, let us go ahead and hop into the New Orleans Pelicans off-season guide. As right now, I want to talk a little bit about the current roster. The current roster that we have, the starting five, is point guard DeJounte Murray, shooting guard Trey Murphy, small forward Sadiq Bey, power forward, Zion Williamson, and of course our center is Herb Jones. That is the current five at this current point in time. Now, honestly, I don't think this Pelicans roster can get any better than it really is. We've seen what this roster is when it is fully healthy. They can beat any team out there on any given night when this roster is fully healthy. We've seen it against the Rockets when DeJounte Murray came back for those couple of weeks when we thought we were going to make the play-in. We've seen what this roster can do fully healthy a couple of years ago when, of course, we were #1 in the West through the first 30 games of the NBA season. So, again, I really don't think this roster can change all that much. And them getting, of course, the players that they have in the bench, which we'll talk about here in a second, just solidifies that even more. Let us talk about the bench real quick. Jeremiah Fears at the point guard position. He's the backup to DeJounte. I think he can only get more experience. Shooting guard Jordan Hawkins. I think Hawkins is on the table for a trade, which we'll talk about here in just a bit. But then we have small forward Micah Peavy. I think he is also on the deal for a trade as well. Power forward Derek Queen. He has been an absolute stud his rookie season this year, that's for sure. And then center Carlo Matrovic. This dude has been balling out the games that he played. I watched a little bit of his tape. He is really good and a really solid center to have, that's for sure. But I do think this Pelicans roster can get a little bit better on the bench. I think Jordan Poole, of course, is on the trade market. I think that, of course, guys like Bryce, Kevin, and Yves are, again, all on the market as well. The Pelicans, they've talked about the fact that Zion Williamson is untouchable and he is the franchise player. They have been committed to him for 5 years. Yes, he has had some injuries, but when he is on the floor, he is good and he can make an impact on the floor for this New Orleans Pelicans squad. So I honestly think this Pelicans squad, yes, is a playoff team with the right head coach. And honestly, you just got to find it and find the right head coach to be able to tap into all of these players, it factor, and get them through to the next level to where they can close out games. I saw it a lot this season where the Pelicans were not able to close out games. There was a game against the Timberwolves that I was at where we could not close out the fourth quarter, and we had the lead going into the fourth quarter. So I think with a little bit more experience and a little bit more time together, this Pelicans squad is a playoffs team. And I think, honestly, that is what Gail Benson was talking about. Speaking of Gayle Benson. We have heard that there are going to be trade rumors there are going to be changes made in the ownership situation. So whether that comes to the Saints, whether that comes to the Pelicans, same deal. They are both owned by the same owner, and there are going to be some major changes this offseason that has been confirmed, along with hopefully a new head coach. Now, this video is not going to be specifically a video talking about the Pelicans' head coaching targets. That's a completely different topic, and that honestly is a topic that I will talk about here probably within the next couple of weeks or so. But I do think the Pelicans are going to have to try and get back in round one if they want to solidify themselves as a top 6 seed in the Western Conference. The Western Conference, man, is so deep this year, and ultimately, if the Pelicans just closed out 20 of the games where they had the lead in the fourth quarter, they'd be a play-in squad, that's for sure. And they could totally sneak into the playoffs, right? We saw a banged-up Golden State Warriors team almost sneak into the playoffs. So a fully healthy roster for the Pelicans certainly is a playoff team, that's for sure. I just think you need a little bit stronger of a bench, and you also need another guy in there that you can have a it factor for Saddiq Bey. I really think Saddiq Bey is a good player, but I do think we need another small forward, and that is why the trade rumors regarding, of course, Ja Morant are surrounding New Orleans. New Orleans is looking to pair Zion Williamson up with somebody with a lethal shooter, and ultimately, knock on wood, of course, no jokes right there, Ja Morant is a lethal shooter. With that said, if the Pelicans want to get back in the first round in a very draft-heavy class, they are going to have to do it through a trade. And of course, there are some players that are, of course, on the trade market. We talked about it earlier. Jordan Poole, I think, is most likely gone when it comes to the Pelicans offseason. I think Kevon Looney is also gone. Signed both of those guys out of Golden State. However, they didn't work out this year the way we wanted it to, and that's all right. I don't know why the coach did not want to play Jordan Poole. Maybe we keep Jordan Poole around, see what he's got next year. But I do think Bryce, Kevin, and Yves are all on the table. And again, Zion Williamson is not going anywhere anytime soon. I also don't think DeJounte Murray is going anywhere anytime soon because of the impacts those players have when they are on the court. So, in conclusion, yes, I do think the Pelicans are a playoff team, and with the right head coach and the more experienced players you get, the Pelicans will make the playoffs and play in the next season. So I totally understand where a lot of Pelicans fans are coming from. We're going to wrap this video up very shortly. It's just a me yapping video, go on a rant about the Pelicans. But I do think with the right head coach and with the right personnel, you can make the playoffs. And honestly, this starting 4 or 5 in there for the Pelicans is a good start and a good personnel to have when you talk about shooting. You got to shoot 9 in and 9 out if you want to win in the NBA. And ultimately, we've seen the Pelicans do that from time to time. Hell, Trey Murphy broke the all-time threes record in Pelicans franchise history this year. That's how much they shot the three ball this season. So, again, the Pelicans, they are going to be known for a shooting team, and ultimately, I think the biggest concern is that small forward position. Can you get somebody like a Ja Morant or somebody like that in free agency to where you can pair up with Zion Williamson and kind of have 1-2 punch? So, again, I think that is the main point of emphasis for the Pelicans this offseason, and they don't necessarily have to trade in the first round to do that. They could potentially draft a round 2 guy in a very draft-heavy class. So, again, a lot of stuff could happen for the New Orleans Pelicans. I know we don't have our first-round pick this year, lottery pick, because the Atlanta Hawks got it, which very fitting for both of my teams. But, hey, it is what it is, and ultimately, I do think next year the Pelicans are going to be a play-in and play-off team. But you guys, let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. Tomorrow, like I said in the introduction, we will have some Auburn spring football recap video. We will also on Wednesday do our final NFL mock draft, so stay tuned for that as well. As we are on the road to college football season, hit the sub button. That's the #1 way you can support us here at the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.